What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Reds on behalf of MachineMasters.com, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial, or actually not even tutorial. I'm going to give y'all some tips on how to mix everything inside Maschine with plugins. You can do it without plugins. You can use the Maschine effects, but I mean, I got some pretty cool plugins that I use when I mix. So I'm going to show y'all how I do it. I got a little beat here. I rendered out without the mix on it, so I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna let y'all listen to both mixed and unmixed. So let's get into it. All right, here we got a little beat that I was working on. Y'all see it's only one scene. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate this just to give y'all a little bit more. All right, let's get into it. I suggest when y'all mix that y'all mix and EQ each sound individually. Kicks, snares, claps, all of them. EQ them all. Put them in their own little space in the song. I'll show y'all what I mean by that. So the first thing I want to do is I usually work on my kick. We just gonna go plugins. I use the Waves plugins. SSL channel strip. This is what I use basically to EQ pretty much everything that I use, each sound. Then I go and I'll double up and I'll put some other EQs and reverbs and everything else on it. But I just use this in my kick just to get that kick, that boom. And I mean, there's really no like science to it. You just gotta listen and use your ears. I mean, right now I'm just playing with the low end of the channel strip. Plugins. The Waves plugin bundle has something called an S1 imager, which basically is like a stereo effect or stereo plugin. Let me move this thing out the way first. And what it does is basically puts your sound, it places your sound in spaces basically. And you'll understand once you see the plugin. So basically, when I look at this plugin, I look at it. This is like the high, the upper part of your beat. This is the lower part of your beat. Somewhere in here is the middle, and somewhere in here is the middle, or the center. As that's what I call it. So when I do. It brings it down and outside. And most of the time that's where I like to place my kicks, is low and away. And you'll hear the difference. Well, if you got your speakers open, you'll hear the difference. After I do that, I mean, I get that sounding the way I want it to sound. I mean, I already got an EQ on the clap, which I didn't even know I had on. It sounds alright, but we're gonna use the same S1 imager plugin from Waves. Come in here. Basically, we're going to take that and we're going to separate that away from the kick. The way we do that is we bring it up some, and it puts it more in the center of your beat. So you got your kicks on the low and away, your clap is high in the middle, And I mean, everything else you work around that. I usually do all my percussions. I usually do somewhere, high and inside. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna put the same S1 imager plugin. And I got presets for these plugins, but since I'm doing this tutorial, I want to show y'all basically how to use the plugin, or how I use the plugin. See how it, I'm sure y'all can't hear it, but somewhere up in there, we can get an EQ on this. I got a couple EQs, couple different EQs. One is the channel strip, the other is the SSL EQ, and then there's the isotope ozone that I like to use a lot, and this got some very nice presets. So I'll go in here and I'll use this actually a lot, just to so I'll either find a preset that I like, or I actually go in and EQ it myself. I actually got a couple Analog Factory, FMA Contact, just the plugins that I use. But we're gonna find out what all these are. For this, this is like these airy strings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna widen that out. I'm actually use, just the putting the reverb on it, not even touching any of these, made it sound a lot better. And then you slowly work in the other sounds. I'm doing this all by ear. That's the best way to do it, is to just ear it and make sure it sounds lovely. You know what I'm saying? For this type of beat, you want that airy, hard hit with that kick and all your synths. After I'm done, I actually think this is a little. Actually, I think this is a little loud. Yeah, it's me. And then once I'm done with the EQ on each individual, I usually step out. I go to master, and on master I come in and I put that isotope over an entire track. And then once I got that going, that's when I just go through my plugins and make it sound really different. I got one that I usually use for most of my hip-hop beats, but for this one might be a little different. But EQing the beat as a whole does add a different dynamic to it. It sets up some of your mids, your highs and your lows to feel really different than what you EQ'd them at. And you might like it, you might not. That's why I just go through the presets and see what I like. And basically that's mixing, for me at least. And all done with the Maschine with plugins. So on behalf of Maschine Masters, it's been your boy Big Riz. Hopefully this stuff has been helpful for y'all. check me out, my YouTube page, Big Riz 23, BIGRIZ 23 on YouTube. I got some other videos up. Holla at your boy. Peace.